Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to Look Back, where I take a look at reviews that I did a year ago, 5 years ago, and 10 years ago. We'll start with last year. I reviewed some pretty bad games, in my opinion, of course. First, Zumaka, about collecting animals. I like the color palette of this game, but it was just very random, extremely random. Hexpanse, where you're placing, it looks like a big spaceship game. You're placing spaceships on a board, but you're just building patterns. And there's a lot of these pattern building games, and this one just really failed for me. It was boring and long and didn't really have anything that, attracted me to it. Greedy Dragons is about splitting treasure, kind of, sort of, but it's essentially just a take that game. Maybe some nice artwork, but that's about the best I can say about it. Then I reviewed some games that I thought were okay. I took a look at Team Up. This is a kind of a building game or trying to put things together, and you're kind of restricted by the card that you draw. It is what it is. 5-Minute Chase is a 5-minute game where one person's chasing another person, and you're playing tiles as fast as you can. And I didn't hate it, but again, it was kind of okay, this speed element of it. Team play was a little better, where you are trying to collect cards, or you or your team trying to accomplish different goals. Very light game, just maybe a step above Uno, but if you're trying to play just casually with other people, that would work well there. Now Boarding. This is a cooperative game about trying to shuttle different passengers around on airplane flights and get them to their destinations, or keep them from getting too mad as you fly them around. It's an interesting game from Tim Fowers. I like it. Then we have Ninjitsu. This is a little card game, which you're putting cards face down and some face up, and there's a little bit of take that to it to some degree, and it's very, very light, but I really enjoyed it. It was humorous and interesting, and there's an element of bluffing to the game that I enjoyed. Even more than that, Near and Far Amber Mines. I don't think this is an essential expansion. Love Near and Far. But it is a good expansion. It adds a few things that I actually will always use. There's some new boards and things. The Amber Mines part is interesting, adds some more stuff, and just a lot of good content for a game that I really enjoyed. Lowlands. This is not a cooperative Euro game, but it is a Euro game that people are working on together. They're trying to build up barricades as the water crashes in, trying to stop it from hitting in from the Netherlands. And so you can build in, you help build up the wall, or you can try to build out your territory. And there's kind of this ebb and flow to the game that I thought was really well done. Expansity. Expansity is a fantastic city building game. Just played it a bit ago, and great components, but as you're slowly building up these different towers, it's nice, it's light, but also offers some cool strategy choices. Then we have Santo Domingo. Man, Santo Domingo, what a great little card game. Everyone's simultaneously selecting a card, and what other people do affects what you do. Very simple, very fast, great little game. Legendary World War Hulk. This is one of my favorite Legendary. This might be my favorite Marvel Legendary expansion. The way that the Hulk cards and other cards transform just makes it really, really fun. And then we have Root. Now you'll notice I drop Root slightly. Not a big deal. Things like this always like, what? Well, no, Root is a fantastic game. I still think it's fantastic. It just doesn't make it as often just because of the complexity of teaching 4 different factions to everybody. I do play with new people, but I do, and also the people who are really good at Root are kind of here now, better than me. So I'm kind of in a weird place with Root when I want to play it, but still an amazing, amazing design. So that's from a year ago. 5 years ago, I played Karma Race. This is a racing game, but it's essentially roll and move, which it just wasn't very good. We Are Dead. It's just an okay zombie game at best. Praetor, this is a Euro-style game where you're getting resources. I didn't feel like there was enough oomph in the game. The game felt kind of samey from one game to the next. Bedpans and Broomsticks, this is another game. There's a bunch of old people trying to escape out of their hospital, and you're trying to help them escape and not get caught by other people. There's a lot of these games out there. This one did not have very good components, and I really found myself thinking, I don't want to play it anymore, so that's why I dropped it a point. Then we have Spy or Die Trying. Again, this is another one that was an interesting little spy game, but really bad component quality. There was some good games from 5 years ago. We have Strike a Pose. This is like a party game. My kids like it, where everyone strikes some sort of pose. One person leaves the room, they come back in, they look at the pose everyone's in, and try to guess who everyone is. Sushi Go 5 years ago. Now, it's been eclipsed by Sushi Go Party, which is a bigger, better version,
But the base game, drafting game of Sushi Go, thumbs up from me. And then Valley of the Kings. Valley of the Kings is a little deck building game. I just reviewed a week or two ago the big, nice version of this one. This small little version, though, of the game. Just a great deck building game, but you want to also bury cards in your deck to get the points for them. It really holds up well. 10 years ago, Monza. Now, this one you'll see a 6 from me, but for little kids, Monza is one of the best racing games. You roll a die, moving cars to that color, trying to figure out as you roll these dice and moving the car around a track. It teaches some good decision making, but it's not too heavy. Whenever people say I have a little kid, I want to play a game with them, Monza's one that I would recommend. Fruit Fair from Vasel. It's a game about collecting fruit and stuff. It has some really cool pieces, as they often do. But 10 years later, I don't know that I'll play it again. It's just an okay game. Slide 5, on the other hand, 6 Nimmt. There's many versions of it. This game is a game where everyone plays a card, then you line the cards up, and you don't want to put the 6th card in a row, because then you get points. It's kind of intriguing. It's a nice filler. If you've never played it before, it's one of those games that you can play with a big group of people and cause a lot of laughter. Not sure how heavy the strategy is in the game, but it is fun. Shadowhunters. This was the game that when it came out, I was like, wow, there are alternatives to Bang. Well, now, 10 years later, there are many, 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 many alternatives to Bang. So Shadowhunters has paled some. It's still fine. I'll still play it. It's still good. But that's why it got dinged a point. Then Dice Town. Oh, Dice Town. Love Dice Town. It's such a great game. You roll dice. You look at your hand. You can re-roll dice, paying money to re-roll dice and add things. And it's just such a good combination and working against other players and trying to get the best poker hand of dice. Fun. This is a game that has legs, and I can still people playing 10 years from now. Those are the reviews I did 1, 5, and 10 years ago. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching Look Back on the Dice Tower.